Hi Stampers, today I wanted to share with you a nice spring card made with Perched in a Tree and the Aspen tree dies that made the carryover list from the Holiday Mini. This is a really fun stamp set, and not just for Christmas or fall, but as you can see, for the spring. And in honor of my bird feeder, I had lots of fun birds. I thought it'd be fun to make this card. So first of all, I used designer series paper that was left over from Celebration, the Dainty Flowers designer series paper. If you weren't fortunate enough to get some of this, you can use any watercolor designer series paper or even make your own. But in this case, I just used this. And some of this has little purple dots already in it, and also little rich raspberry dots. This is a rich raspberry version. This is the Starry Sky version. I kind of liked how the Starry Sky turned out better, so that's what I'm going to share with you today. So this is a piece of the paper. It didn't really have quite enough dots in it for my liking, so I took my Starry Sky stamp pad and this dot the little flecks that are actually in the Perched in a Tree stamp set. And when I do this, I don't ink up the whole entire image. I just take a little corner of it like that. See how it's just a little, and then I will just do little dots here and there, and I might even stamp on and stamp off, and that way you don't have like a big blob of color, but enough to see through the die, which is all I really wanted. All right, so that is all I'm going to do to that. And then I took the Aspen tree dies, which here they are, by the way. We're going to be using most of these today, except for the leaves, but I went ahead and just cut out the leaves so you could see how pretty they are. And you could use that really for a summer or a fall card, but I didn't use it in this card. So I took this big oval one, and you want to, when you cut this out, you want to make sure you center it all the way around, because it's cutting it out and it's going to end up looking like this. So you want to make sure you have a nice framing of your die. So I went ahead and did that, and there it is. And so I just taped it onto my DSP. You could glue it if you want, but I found that tape was good enough. Sometimes when you have glue and these fine lines, it's really easy to ooze it out, and I didn't really want to mess with that. So there we go. That's all I did. And so now you can see the little color flecks that I did peeking out. Let me line this up better. There we go. Oopsie. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So then I took a piece of Starry Sky cardstock, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and scored it at 4 1/4. And there it is. Take your bone folder and give it a nice crisp edge. And then this is just such an easy card, but it's pretty stunning. It's kind of funny. One of my stamp club ladies like, I have a really hard time not using the other side of this beautiful paper, but I was fortunate enough to get quite a few reams of it, so I'm not too worried about it. And we're just gonna tape it down. All right, then take another piece of paper, and I'm using Memento now. Let me move these babies out of the way. And I inked up the bird. How cute is that bird? This looks like been to the bird feeder many times, apparently. And stamp it. And then the branch, which is here. I'm going to ink it up. Actually, with these big ones, I like to ink them up upside down. So there we go. And go. So you can either color it now or cut it out. I went ahead and cut it out. So you just want to take these dies and lay them on. And this one you just want to make sure you get the little twigs here lined up so you don't chop them off when you cut them out. So you line it up about like that. And then the bird. Run it through your die cutting machine. And you'll have this. So that's what I ended up with. Now the magic comes in. You get to color with the stamping blends. I did the branch in light crumb cake. And these are alcohol markers. I use them a lot. They're one of my favorite tools. You can use other things if you have them, but I just love how the alcohol markers color. And so that's what I use. You could use watercolor pencils, or you could even watercolor this. So there you go. And I'm going to take my dark crumb cake. The stamping blends come in two colors, light and dark. And they're a wonderful tool, like I said. And so I'm just going to give it a little distinction, I guess. And I just did these with the twigs, because you couldn't really see them with the light. I didn't think. So there. If that's too much of a distinction for you, you can take your light color again and just color over it. And what it'll do is kind of soften the color, because it's alcohol markers, and it changes colors when you get it wet. And so there you go. Well, not wet really, with the alcohol again. So see how that smoothed it out? It's not so choppy. So there's that. And then the bird, I took my smoky slate, and I'm going to always start with the lighter color. So a smoky slate, and I'm using the brush tip, and I'm going to do his tail feathers and his wing feathers. And up around his head. I always feel like such an artist with these markers. I was telling one of my club members that my sister, I actually didn't really do anything artistic until I was an adult, because my sister was so artistic, and I thought that she was the one in the family that had all the genes, and so I wasn't even going to bother to try. But as an adult, I started to get into art and found that, maybe I'm not as good as she is, but I'm not too bad. And more importantly, I really enjoy it. So, all right, there is that lighter color. Now I'm just going to come in with the darker color and just give it some distinction here. And yeah, we like to joke at my stamp club that stamping is cheaper than therapy, and it's really fun when you get together with friends, and it's definitely more enjoyable. All right, so I like how that looks. I'm going to take my dark So Saffron, which it might be retired. I'm not sure if it is. I meant to look, I forgot. But any yellow, Mango Melody would probably work too. I can't remember if this is still in the line or not. Speaking of, Stampin' Up! Just announced that there's going to be a color refresh this next catalog cycle, which starts May 2nd. So we should be getting a retiring list. I don't know when, maybe the middle of this month to the end of this month. This is the Light So Saffron, and this marker is on its last legs, so Like I said, they get a lot of, my markers get a lot of love. And now I'm taking the light balmy blue, and I'm going to do right here, kind of make him blue up here, and then I'm going to take my light So Saffron again and just kind of blend between. It kind of turns it sort of a green color. The blue and the So Saffron mixed together, just kind of, it'll dry in a little bit. And then I am going to take my dark crumb cake and do his beak and his feet. So that's it. I mean, it's very, oh, you know what? I forgot. The other thing I did was cut out the, I guess these are flowers, for lack of a better term, and I cut them out and now I can't find them. So, oh, it fell on the floor. Hold on a sec, let me grab it. Sort of hooked up here, so let's see if I can do this. All right, sorry for that little intermission. Put my microphone back on. All right, so I cut this out already, although it might have been faster to cut it out on camera after I dropped it on the floor. I thought this was sort of large for that, so what I did was I took my scissors and I just cut it. Like maybe here. And here. All right, and I used glue, but of course my glue is not handy. Oh, here, I can reach it. That's what happens when I'm getting ready for Stamp Club. Things end up everywhere. And I put one behind and one in front, so I just have to decide how I want to do this one. Yeah, I think I'll do it like that. All right, so this one I'm going to just put a little glue on the larger areas and glue it behind the branch. Maybe like that. And stay down, baby. It is not cooperating, is it? And then I'm going to do some on the front. Like so, just to kind of give it some more dimension. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and tape it, glue it down. Oh, it's wiggling. Oh well. I'll just put this on and then put that on top. Oh, and I just got glue on my little birdie bird. There we go. And let me get that off. And then last is my bird. And since I'm being glue deficient, I think I'll just use a piece of tape on him. And I'll perch him on the branch. And there's a lovely spring card. And here's the rich raspberry version. And I also just put a piece of paper on the inside, which I'll do to this one. Anyway, Perched in a Tree and the Aspen tree dies. Wouldn't be surprised if it retires this coming cycle. So if you haven't bought these yet, you should get them. If you've made it this far, please be sure to like my video, leave a comment, that would really encourage me, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.